You want to make your fantasy sports league more than a fantasy? Then you need Trophy Smack. It's the #1 store for fantasy and tournament trophies, belts, draft boards, loser awards, and other ridiculous products. Trophy Smack is more than just a trophy company with outstanding customer service and products. It's the very essence and heart of every fantasy league. And if you click now, TrophySmack.com gives you free shipping, a free loser poster, and can have the hardware to you in a few days. Bragging rights included. Go to TrophySmack.com right now and take your fantasy league to the next level.
What's up, and welcome to the Dynasty Happy Hour with your hosts, Doug Eddy, Tim Keller, and Tyler Gunther. Bring us all inside the huddle. Whether it's in-season or off-season, this is your spot for the best and in-depth Dynasty fantasy football advice. So let's not waste any more time and get right to it with Doug, Tim, and Tyler with another Dynasty Happy Hour.
Welcome back to the Dynasty Happy Hour. It is Tim, Tyler, and myself, your host, Doug Eddy, here to bring you an awesome episode. We're going to talk a little bit of trade calculator game that we like to do from time to time. We've got some news. There has been some signings here in the past week that are a little intriguing, and some other stuff. It's a little potpourri segment. But before we get into all that, I just want to let you guys know that we are brought to you by fantasypoints.com this week. They've got an awesome early bird special going on. It expires April 30th. It's 20% off your subscription plan. There's a specific code that you can use. We would love for you to use this code. Write it down. Get a pen. Go ahead. Okay, now we're back. 21DHH10 is the code you can use on fantasypoints.com/subscribe to get 20% off all the subscription plans. You won't find a better deal from a major fantasy content provider in the industry. You've got season long, you've got DFS, there's betting content as well. Massive NFL draft and prospect previews. We're 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, guys, and I am absolutely stoked because I'm going to be in upstate New York, eating garbage plates, watching the draft, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. They live stream best ball drafts with the NFFC, NFL Draft Guide, and other apps with Greg Cosell player profiles, which is awesome. Greg Cosell is an awesome analyst.
Genius. I mean,
yeah, he's awesome. There's analytics powered draft tool on there. 90% of the subs made fantasy playoffs last year. That's 9 out of 10. So this is a proven commodity, and right now you can save 20% using code 21DHH10. And one more time, it's fantasypoints.com/subscribe. There is a lot of free stuff on the site too. Look for the free banner on the articles if you want to check it out first. And then once you subscribe, again, 21DHH10. Thank you in advance. Boys, what is going on this week? Like I said, we are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. It's in a little bit of the dead zone for news. We've got some this week, but I want to know, how are we feeling? Tim, are you getting as excited as I am for the draft?
Absolutely. Super excited. I think the draft now starts at pick 3. A lot of intrigue. I see more and more people thinking, originally all the talk was Mac Jones. It was Mac Jones. And it still could be. There are more and more people, and I think it's just that wishful thinking. And it's the same thing I thought when I heard the trade happen. That can't be for Mac. There's no way they trade to 3 for Mac.
You wouldn't think so.
And more people are starting to think the same way. I would say that Shanahan has found his guy and he's going to get his guy. I still think the trade to 3 was very rich. But hey, it is what it is. We just talked about the Fantasy Points family. I just wanted to say, in my time hop, I had a little memory come up. 5 years ago today, I reached out to Mr. Graham Barfield to come on my Dynasty Red Zone fantasy podcast.
Nice.
Oh, that's a blast from the past right there.
Yeah. So, known Graham a long time. Was lucky enough to talk to him 5 years ago about his yards created running back metric that he's created. So happy to be here.
Awesome. Tyler, what's your most exciting thing for the draft for you?
It's got to be Atlanta at 4. I mean, it's my team. Last time they picked this early.
You mean New England at 4 when they trade up?
I mean, it'd be great if they could give Atlanta the world. I mean, but knowing Atlanta, they'll probably just take a Cam Newton and a third. For like Matt Ryan and 104. One of those dynasty trades where everybody's like, wait, what? Yeah, what just happened? What? No, I'm so pumped for Atlanta to see what they're going to do. Cornerback is a huge need. Do they go quarterback? Do they go for the future and kind of lock that quarterback spot up? Because are they going to pick this soon again? Are they going to go with the crazy pterodactyl style tight end in Kyle Pitts, where he's probably touching my back right now is how long his reach is. It's going to be insane. If they pick Pitts, it's going to be exactly when they took Julio. I was jumping up and down. I ran up and down my buddy's steps probably about 10 times up and down, and I wasn't even tired. I was still screaming the whole time. I don't think I took a breath. I passed out probably 4 times throughout the whole entire thing, but no, that's how pumped I am for Atlanta to pick, and it's going to be interesting. Like, honestly, I was thinking to myself, 3, 4, 5, 6, all could be anything. Even Detroit at 7. Who could be a positional player that could help us in fantasy. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll be in New York visiting some friends and watching the draft, probably at his house.
What's a garbage pail, by the way?
A garbage plate? So a garbage plate is a Rochester, New York staple food. It's a signature to the area. What it is, now, you know those styrofoam squares that you get for like take home? Like the traditional ones.
Yeah.
So now just imagine one of those, pretty big in size. You've got it filled half with macaroni salad, the other half filled with whatever starch you want. So you can do tater tots, French fries, whatever.
Oh, it's tots. I mean, right?
Same, yeah.
Yes.
So you got mac salad one side, tots on the other, filling up the whole bottom. So it's pretty heavy. Now you throw on 2 cheeseburgers on top of that.
Jesus.
You throw on some meat sauce, which isn't spicy, but it's good. And it's got a nice mix to it. It's a beautiful flavor. Raw onions, ketchup, mayonnaise. No, not mayonnaise. Ketchup and mustard on top of it. And that is your garbage plate. It looks disgusting. If you Google it, you're going to be like, that looks gross. And I agree. I first saw one and I was like, I don't want to eat that. And then I ate it and I was like, oh my God. Now, it was originally invented to be like the drunken night or a high night type of food. But it is amazing. And every time I go to Rochester, which is usually once or twice a year, I only went once last year because of COVID, I usually get one. So I'm definitely getting one. Shout out to Americana in Greece, New York, who makes an absolutely elite garbage plate that I'll be stuffing my face with 40,000 calories and 700 grams of saturated fat.
Nice.
I'm looking at it right now, and
you can do it with hot dogs too.
There's no bun. I'm guessing it's just burger.
No, it's just patties.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's interesting. That's for sure. I mean, if you don't
I'm
know
not
what
a mustard guy or a ketchup guy at all, but it works. It just works.
Like, if you don't know what it is, honestly, go on and check it out because, I mean, I love tots. I love macaroni salad. I love burgers. It's all going down in the same place. Why not mix it, right?
And it is a feast. Like, to clear one off, I mean, back when Fat Doug was around, like I could clear one off no problem. Now, like the last time I had one, I was like, I had to like labor. I got the meat sweats eating it to try to get through it. It was pretty rough. But that's a garbage plate. Feel free to Google it. If you've had one, give us a shout out on Twitter. We'd love to hear what you think. All right, so let's get into some news. We had some a retirement this past week, which I mean, some people might have saw coming. Julian Edelman, the flying squirrel himself, his career is done. He retires a Patriot from a 7th round draft pick to a Super Bowl MVP. The debate on Twitter was, is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
The answer is no.
He single-handedly took the Super Bowl trophy out of Atlanta's hands.
Falcons, with that crazy, ridiculous catch.
Not single-handedly. I mean, Dante Hightower had some big plays. Brady was amazing.
That play, he didn't make that catch.
That was the David Tyree play. If he didn't
make that catch, game was over. So
that was the football gods rectifying the David Tyree catch and just going, okay, we'll give you one. And make it
I was okay. That play though, like I sat down, I'm like, that hit the ground. There's no, and then I saw his little crooked pinky that he's got, like hold it like a football tee, and I'm like, okay, that's against the rules. That's like HGH pinky, right? Like you can't do that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So Julian Edelman retires. That obviously opens up some targets for the Patriots. This is interesting because Edelman is their slot receiver. Now they could move Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, even maybe N'Keal Harry in and out of the slot. But this is a really great. This is a really Gunnar Olszewski as well. All pro Gunnar Olszewski, mind you, last year. So this is a very deep draft in slot receivers. So I think the Patriots, I hope they don't take one in the first 2 rounds because they're awful at drafting receivers. Let's be completely honest.
Don't draft them in your rookie draft if they do.
But if they were to take like a guy like I don't know, like an Amari Rodgers in the 3rd round, he seems like a Patriot kind of guy. I could see him being a really good fit there going forward. Or maybe they just sign a street free agent. I mean, Adam Humphries is still available. They were interested in him last year or 2 years ago when he signed for $10 million with the Titans. So he could be a fit there as well. But Julian Edelman, a great career, really solid fantasy contributor for a good 5-year run for Julian Edelman. Because, he didn't really start until his 4th year in the NFL. He was backing up Wes Welker. And then he showed Wes Welker what it's like to be clutch in the playoffs because Welker never had that gene. Shout out Wes. Anyway, not a salty Patriots fan at all. We had a lot of running back news this week. So we had Giovanni Bernard get released from the Cincinnati Bengals. He goes and signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just to make it an even more confusing backfield. So now we have Ronald Jones. They re-signed Leonard Fournette. They signed Gio Bernard. And we all know they have Keyshawn Vaughn on the roster still. What do we think Gio even what do we make of this? Is he just the LaShawn McCoy replacement who plays occasionally? Tyler, what do you think this means for Tampa Bay's backfield?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't for too much money. I don't know. Maybe in camp, there's a chance he gets cut, possibly. Like, say Keyshawn Vaughn comes out and is a world beater, just destroys things and looks really good. There's a chance he could be the guy, which is a prime buy low candidate right now. And if you're not already trying to buy Keyshawn Vaughn for like pennies on the dollar, you're doing Dynasty wrong because there was a lot of hype on him, and you got to follow that. I get he was
a first round pick in like 12-team leagues last year in a lot of leagues.
And I get he's like 24 years old, but I mean the tread on the tire is still there. He got like 2 carries, so there's not much. There's all brand new tires on this car. He's ready to go. Gio's a fine player. I feel like he's just kind of like the, oh God, we lost on James White. What do we do now? Do we just go Gio? I mean, he's got a great mustache. All right, let's sign him.
He does. Substitute teachers-esque.
Oh God, it's a amazing mustache.
And so we talked about Giovanni Bernard getting cut. There was another running back that you probably roster on your Dynasty leagues. He was like a late 2nd, 3rd round pick the year that he came out as a rookie, and a lot of people liked him, including myself, and it was Ito Smith. Kind of surprisingly gets cut by the Atlanta Falcons. They signed Mike Davis in the offseason. They've still got, what's Tree Trunk Thighs there? Oh, God, his name is escaping me.
Quadre Olison.
Quadricep Olison. That's right. This is going to be a prime spot for a rookie pick. Maybe top of the 2nd round. Certain running back out of North Carolina might land there. Maybe Travis Etienne.
Yes. Oh God, Javonte Williams, please, dear God, please go to Atlanta. Like I would love it. Even
they didn't pay Mike Davis a lot of money. I think we like Mike Davis. He's a nice player, but I don't think he's the guy per se. I mean, he filled in admirably for Christian McCaffrey last year and finished as a top 20 running back. But a prime spot for a running back is Atlanta. So them releasing Ito, a little curious. He hasn't picked up with anybody yet. So keep an eye on that for you guys that have him on your Dynasty leagues. If he doesn't pick up anybody in the next few months, he's probably cuttable. Unfortunately, the running back position can be a cruel mistress for a lot of our Dynasty rosters. And speaking of that, we had a signing. Now, I thought this player, it was curious why he wasn't signed yet. And I was concerned that he was going to get signed to a team where he would be like the 3rd string guy and wouldn't play very often. But James Conner, I think, landed in a really great spot for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they lost Kenyon Drake in free agency to the Raiders. The only thing they have on their depth chart is Chase Edmonds, who I think we all like. He's a nice player. And they drafted Eno Benjamin. And then they have, I don't even know who else at running back there. John Johnson, for all I know. If you're old school, you know what I'm talking about. But James Conner landing to the Cards. Chase Edmonds has 1 career red zone carry attempt. So why not James Conner in a pretty high-octane offense could be the guy that stumbles into 10 touchdowns and gets 10 to 15 touches a game, splitting work with Chase Edmonds. I think this is one of the best-case scenarios if you're a James Conner owner because you're probably starting to get really nervous. He didn't re-sign with Pittsburgh, and you didn't really hear much about what was going on with James Conner, but then he visits Arizona and he signs there. Tim, what was your initial reaction when you saw James Conner sign with the Arizona Cardinals?
I still think this is an RB spot for the draft, but they
don't have a lot of picks, though.
I was going to say, if they don't get the guy they want, falling back to them at their pick, they might just bypass it completely, and they're going to look like Chase Edmonds and James Conner, probably the 1-2 punch. Mm-hmm. Chase is the much more dynamic of the two of them, will be involved in the passing game for sure, but James Conner should do the dirty work, be the goal line back for sure. Let's not forget they do have Eno Benjamin there, who's a little bit more like Chase than he is James. Mm-hmm. And looking at their depth chart, Jonathan Ward, DJ Foster,
DJ,
Kalafani,
former Patriot legend.
Yeah, Kalafani Muhammad as well. So not a ton here behind Chase and James Conner. So if they don't land one in the draft, Conner is going to be of value buy.
Absolutely. Tyler, what do you think about James Conner in Arizona?
Oh, I've just never been a true believer in Conner. I don't know.
Tyler doesn't like cancer survivors. That's what I just heard.
Yeah.
For a guy that works at Mayo Clinic,
good.
A guy that works at Mayo Clinic doesn't believe.
Leukemia.
I
can't believe you would say something like that.
This
Tyler.
guy has gone through hell and back, and I applaud him for that. He is tougher than I will ever be, but he's a slower back. He doesn't show me anything on film. He gets you 4 yards, and if you need a first down for 6, he's going to get you a 4-yard gang. He's fine. He's a fine first and second down back. But after that, I don't know. I really hope they don't draft a running back because it will muddy everything. Like, we're looking at a full Tampa Bay backfield style going on here, and we don't want that because I still like Benjamin. I think he's a very talented rookie. So, yeah, I mean, if you could get him for a third, but even then, I would still rather just take the pick because running backs in general that are kind of a retread type thing, I'm just not for. Like, even Mike Davis, I still like him in Atlanta, but there ain't no way.
If you give up a third for Conner and something happens, let's say 3 weeks into the season, and all of a sudden Conner's the starter in Arizona, he's even just 4 yards a carry, he's worth that.
He can handle. He was active in the passing game for Pittsburgh, and he can handle 20 carries a game.
I mean, we all know that it's one play, and that third string running back all of a sudden is your starter.
But wouldn't that injured running back be James Conner because that's his story?
I mean, it's possible, sure.
I don't know. I'm staying away from that backfield because I think they're going to throw like 600 times.
I mean, I'm team Chase all the way. I think Chase Edmonds
he's a more talented player for sure.
He's great, but he's also injured. Like, if you combine these two, like, health bar wise video,
well,
we're going to
get between the two of them, they got a full season. One will get 8 games.
Maybe. I mean, I was going to say, like, one's got a 40% health bar, the other's got a 30% health bar. You combine them, it's like 70% health bar.
That would be 70%.
Yeah.
Math, right?
Hashtag math. One other transaction that I wanted to mention because I thought it was a good fit, interesting landing spot. So Thaddeus Moss last year goes undrafted in the NFL draft. The first team to call him is the Washington football team, and he signs with them. Now, the Patriots were interested as well, but he's like, you know what? They called me first. I'm signing with them. So they release him, and now Thaddeus Moss is a Cincinnati Bengal. And the reason this is curious is because we all know who his college quarterback was. I think that was Joey Burrow, correct? And on a depth chart, I mean, CJ Uzomah tore his Achilles. Hopefully he'll be. It was like the first game of the season, first or second game. Hopefully he'll be back. We always want to see players rebound from that injury, even though it's not easy. Drew Sample, who I've liked from an athletic profile, 2nd round pick.
We've only seen a sample of him.
A small sample. That first game that he played, he looked awesome, and then after that, they didn't really feature him that much. So maybe Thaddeus Moss gets that mojo working with Joey B, and maybe he becomes something. I think he's fine if you're in a deep dynasty league and he's on your taxi squad, or if he's at the very bottom of your roster. Worth a flyer. I did want to mention it because I thought it was an interesting name who some people liked. And then, getting matched up with your college quarterback, there's something to say about that. So, if maybe Joe Burrow is just trying to be like, we're going to take Jamar Chase at 5. I've got Thaddeus at tight end. We're going to trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And Justin
we're gonna
Jefferson.
get Terrace Marshall, and we're going to get Justin Jefferson, and we're bringing it back. We're rolling back the best offense in collegiate history in the NFL. Let's do this. Probably not likely. Most likely not likely.
Reunion
but
tour.
I thought
Book it.
But I thought that was an interesting transaction. And last but not least, we're going to take a trip down Narrative Street. So someone told me about a Trevor Lawrence thing with Jacksonville. And who told me that story? Was it Tim? Was it Tyler?
That was me.
That was Tim.
Tim, tell the Narrative Street story we all love, especially 2 weeks before the draft.
Well, it's lock and key that Trevor's going to be the 101 here. He's going to Jacksonville. The Jacksonville fan base donated to Trevor Lawrence, not scholarship,
His wedding registry. No, I don't know.
No, to his, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Foundation?
His charity
Yeah.
or his foundation. Yeah. Over
I'm surprised it's not
$20,000.
Locks of Love.
Well, with that hair, I mean, that guy's got some nice flow. But yeah, the Jacksonville fan base donated money to his charities. So in turn, that was a wedding present for him. So in turn, he turned around and donated $20,000 to Jacksonville area charities. So he's already making good with the local fan base. Now there is that narrative that Tyler brought up, so I'll let Tyler bring that up.
I don't remember what I brought up.
It was that people are trying to say that he does not love the game of football.
Oh, yeah, there's a huge thing going on that was saying, his first thought isn't football, and he came back saying, you know what, I love the game of football.
Fans. That's Jets fans putting that out there.
Yeah, I love the game of football, he said, and that, he loves the whole aspect of it. But he said personally, if football wasn't in his life, he could live without it, is what he said. Like I
think we all technically could live without it if it wasn't in our lives.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I think it was just taken out of context, which, oh God, everything in this world has been taken out of context, it seems. Everything you post on anything is taken completely out of context.
That's why I don't really post much anywhere.
Yep, that's why, Doug. No, and it's just it was a stupid thing, and we all know Trevor's really good, and he's constantly working, and he even said that he's working to be better. So let's just not do that. Let's just stop it. Be better.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, well, that wraps up our news portion. I did want to remind you that we also are brought to you by TrophySmack.com, where you can go on that awesome website and use code DHHRING to get yourself a free championship ring when you order a trophy, a belt, a gangster grill. If you're playing fantasy hockey right now, they got you. You're playing fantasy baseball, and you got a great team, you can get a fantasy baseball trophy as well. So make sure you go to TrophySmack.com, code DHHRING, bring you on over there.
How's that belt?
Get that done. It is sitting on top of on my Bo Jackson cabinet of collectibles. It's sitting right on top. I did dust it the other day because I like the way it gleams in the light, and I can look at it and be like, "You're gonna stay here next year, aren't you?"
No, it'll be back. I mean, I just picked up Mahomes in that league. It'll be back.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. But hey, Al, shout out to you. You suck. Anyway. So Tyler, I want you to discuss our main segment tonight, because I think you can explain it better than I can.
Okay, we're going to have a little fun. Last week we had some fun. Tim's awesome drafting idea. I loved it. We're going to have a little fun here. Doug, you got next week. You get to pick the fun topic for next week because I picked this one. We're going to
We just do the podcast naked. That's Doug's whole idea.
I mean, then we'd have to
do the animal episode. When's that coming up?
That has to be after the draft. But
I know.
the DTC, we're going to use the Dtc Calculator. And what we're going to do is we have 3 players we're going to throw on the trade block, one at a time. And we're each going to we're going to throw it on a trade block. And then Doug, Tim, and I, we're going to offer a trade for this said player on the block. And then Tim, Doug, and I are going to accept it, one of them. And then we're going to post it on the calculator. And we're going to kind of give an example how calculators can be fun to use and kind of help you with values, because I know we have a lot of industry people here at the podcast, but we also have a lot of fans that are kind of just recreational players and they play with their home leagues, and I'm in a ton of leagues with that. And there's times when I have to use this calculator to kind of guide them. Like, I know
try and influence.
everybody hates the screenshot, but in home leagues, there are times when it becomes necessary because you know what? A 4th and a 5th round pick for Cam Akers ain't going to do it. And I've got to explain to you why.
A 6th round pick for Deshaun Watson won't do it? What are you talking about?
Ain't going to do it. And
I've had those offers too where I'll plug them into a calculator and be like, this isn't
it's
my
50 to
valuations,
8.
but just letting you know how far off you are.
Yes.
Like,
And the calculator is a really good resource to kind of help you with values because there are some players I value differently. And when I see them differently on the calculator, I remember a trade with Outhouse in UDPL when he was there. I was like, okay, maybe this trade is a lot closer than I personally think. I mean, it wasn't that far off. And I thought to myself, this isn't close to me. And then I'm like, okay, maybe my evaluation on said player is off, and it was Tyler Boyd. I like Tyler Boyd, but I was like, okay, the calculator liked him a little more. So what we're going to explain here is kind of how to use it as a guiding light in a way. Let it be your flashlight and allow you to find the trade you want to find. So I'm going to allow Doug to put his first player on the trade block because I know he had trouble finding 3. Trouble
No, it's not that I had
struggle.
trouble. I just didn't put the appropriate time into it. But now you'll be proud of me. I have 3, 5, 7. I have 8 players listed.
You guys,
so
I just made up a word. Struggle, and trouble.
A troubling struggle is a struggle. A Jesse Tuggle for you Atlanta Falcons fans. Tyler doesn't remember him because he wasn't a fan then. He was a really good linebacker, Tyler. Just put it out there.
I know.
All right. My first player I'm going to put out is Travis Kelce. I'm going to put out Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Let me hear your offers for the best tight end in the NFL.
Now, I do want to explain to everybody, it is a 12, all these trades, 12 team. It is a PPR, Superflex, and the kicker, tight end premium. So every trade is going to be in this whole aspect.
Format. Just to keep Tyler from clicking a lot of buttons.
That's
it's just
true.
easier this way.
Yes.
Yeah. So Travis Kelce, boys, where are my offers? What's in my inbox? What can I expect? What can I take?
All right, I got one.
Okay.
I'm going to offer you Noah Fant and 105.
Okay. Tim, what do you got for me there?
I'll say I have a nice receiving core, and I will send you Calvin Ridley and 204.
Ooh. This is a tough. So we got Noah Fant in the 105, Calvin Ridley in the 204. I really like Calvin Ridley. I think he's on the rise. If I'm trading Travis Kelce, I can get back a young tight end, and at the 105, I can probably draft
Hopefully a Calvin Ridley.
a Calvin Ridley. So I think out of these two deals, although your offer is strong, Tim, the 204 is I'm a little wary. It is super flex, so that could push some value down to me. But at the 105, those first few picks could all be quarterbacks. So I could be looking at Jamar Chase at number 5. So Jamar Chase and Noah Fant for Travis Kelce. I think I'm going to go with Noah Fant in the 105 out of those two deals. Tyler's punching it in now. Travis Kelce has a value of 38.5.
I don't feel great about my trade because I do think that the value stands on my side. And it does.
Yep. So Travis Kelce is a 38.5. Noah Fant in the 105 is a 45.4. So that deal would benefit me. Now, Tyler, pull up Tim's. I want to see what Calvin Ridley in the 204 is going to map out to.
All right.
If you can.
I can.
Because I think for me, the reason I brought up Kelce is that I think his window's shrinking, right? And I think if you don't want to miss that window of when you can trade a player. And then, so you can, if I can get the 105 back now, I might not be able to get that next year, and probably definitely not the year after that.
We sent you about the same value.
Yeah, I was going to say that's crazy.
It's pretty close. So 44.4 for Tim to my 38.5. So the Noah Fant 105 side did edge it by like a point. So that is pretty accurate, guys. I like it.
All right. I'll actually go next.
Okay.
I'm going to put Brandon Ayuk on the trade block. Now, Ayuk is a player I've personally bought randomly. Like, I got him in a trade with the person, Al, in a different league. I got him in a trade. He won A.J. Brown, and I got Ayuk in a first for A.J. Brown. And it was kind of just like, oh, okay. I think Ayuk could be better. I think he could be good, especially with a new quarterback. And then I got him in another league. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of liking this Ayuk vibe. Well, let's roll with it. And you guys know how I am with trades. I get a player, and I'm like, I'm really feeling this player. So I'll go out and I'll acquire him. So I kind of want to see, I know what the value is on the calculator, and I get his evaluation could be higher because, say, Izzy likes him, but I know they have an algorithm that kind of nixes the personal evaluation on it. So I think you guys are going to be shocked on Ayuk's value in the calculator. That's why I kind of want to put him on the trade block.
Okay. I think I have one. And as we talked before we started recording, I wanted to get an idea of some of Tyler's. Tyler's got these guys that he loves. So I'm going to see if I can't pull one off here. I'm going to go. So Ayuk's on the board. I'll give you a late second. So like the 2-10.
Okay.
And it's tight end premium. And I'm going to throw TJ Hawkinson at you.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, I think I'm going to throw you David Montgomery and the 203.
Now with the tight end premium, it's Hawk for me because I absolutely love Hawkinson. He's a top 4 tight end until Pitts comes in and destroys the world and takes a tight end one spot in like a year. But anywho, I'm actually going to accept Tim's trade. And it was actually close. I'm not the biggest David Montgomery fan.
That's why I'm trying to sell him.
Here is my Ayuk trade calculator.
Right.
Oh,
so
okay.
Ayuk's value is a 25.2.
Now, I do want to say it was a 33.4.
Hawkinson might be more than that on his own tight end premium.
What happened?
So, Hawkinson in 210.
Okay. See what we got for TJ Hawk. A premium. Ooh,
It's
almost
lower
even.
than I thought.
It's almost even. And the 210, it's probably going to be a little bit on the Hawkinson side by a few points. Yeah.
It was a pretty even trade.
So Hawkinson and the 210 is 26.6. Brandon Ayuk is 25.2. So pretty even. Punch in David Montgomery in the 203 if you could. I'm curious.
Just go to the edit button,
I think
Tyler.
we'll probably do that with all of them because the curiosity, and that's kind of what's fun with the calculator is you can type in the other offers you got and kind of see, okay, like say you pull off a trade and then you've always got that person that's like, oh, I would have offered you more, I would offer you this. You can kind of go back and be like, okay, I mean, I didn't really lose out, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. What was the draft pick?
203.
Yeah, about even.
Yeah. Pretty even trade. All right, good. Okay. I'm not out of my tree then. That's good. I would take the Ayuk side in that evaluation.
Yeah, and honestly, if there's a decision to be made, the Hawkinson and late second, there's a chance I'll try to go earlier second if I could persuade it.
It's the only
but
second I have, Tyler. Sorry.
If not,
that's all you got.
There's a chance I might
Throw me
hold.
a future third.
Yeah, there's a chance I might hold Ayuk, but Doug's and Riley Bymaster, their little strategy is go get that third or fourth.
Throw me an extra bone and I'll do it. Yeah, I always like darts.
So going with Tyler's guy, I mean they were both very good trades. I mean they were dead on. Doug and I both had just a slight touch of value on our sides there. But yeah, going with one of Tyler's guys, I think landed me that one. So. Okay, so it's my turn, and guys, it's a super flex league, and I'm bringing out the big guns.
Oh boy!
I got the 101 this year, so I am going and getting myself some Trevor Lawrence. I don't need this guy as a quarterback anymore. I've put Josh Allen on the trade block.
Ooh.
Let's bring the heat, fellas. Let's go. We're talking about a kid who in his third season has really, really stepped up. I mean, sky's the limit for Josh Allen. I want to see some big offers, fellas. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a little tougher. Okay. I've got one too.
All right, I'll go.
Let's hear
I'll go
Doug's
first. I'm going to give you for your Josh Allen. I'm going to give you Matthew Stafford. I'm going to give you Miles Sanders, and in a late second. Let's say the very end of the second round, a 212. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Jay, because you said you got Trevor Lawrence and you don't need this quarterback. So you know what, Doug? He doesn't need a quarterback. I'm going to give him something.
You always need quarterbacks.
I'm going to give you something you need. I'm going to offer you J.K. Dobbins, and I'm going to offer you
Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
I get all the Ravens rushing.
And I will offer you
LaFonso Taliaferro.
Jalen Reagor.
You had me until you said Reagor, I think.
Oh. Tyler, start punching it in.
Okay. Yeah, can we see what John... No. Before,
you got to make the decision first.
Yeah, I don't want to see what he's worth.
Okay.
You can type in Josh Allen. That's fine.
I'm going to say that Tyler's offer is probably worth more in the calculator. Personally, though, I think I would accept Doug's, though. So I'll take Doug's, and I think I lost the trade.
I don't know. We'll see. So Josh Allen is worth 58.4 in a super flex. That's a big old number.
You know what? I knew I should have offered you DeAndre Swift instead of J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, but you love Swift. You don't want to get rid of him.
That's true.
All right, what is
Matthew
Matthew Stafford worth?
See, I think Doug's will be more.
We'll see. Stafford comes in at, drum roll, a 24.2.
I'm going to lose.
We got Miles Sanders.
Needs to have a big number here.
Miles is probably like a 29.
It should be pretty solid.
26.
Okay, and the 212.
212. It'll work out. Okay.
It's probably going to be. I mean, it'll be close. So we've got a final number here. Matthew Stafford 58.4. We've got
lose the trade.
Josh Allen 58.4. Between Miles Sanders, Matthew Stafford, and the 212, it's 54. So there's a difference of 4.4 points on the Josh Allen side.
Now say, because he said he didn't need a quarterback. Now say you could take Stafford, trade him for a first plus. Then you have Miles Sanders, a running back, and then you could draft a running back in this draft. So I mean that's not a bad trade to think about because you get an extra asset in Stafford that you're able to flaunt again.
Able to probably move off.
What's Reagor worth in the calculator? Do your offer, Tyler. I'm curious to see what Rager's worth.
Tyler, just hit the edit button there, the little pencil.
I'm going to edit you.
Little Pencil was his nickname in high school. It's bad
Little Pencil.
All right, we got J.K. Dobbins coming in at
36.
36. Pretty heavy. All right. What's Reagor? Reagor can't be more than a 10, right?
He shouldn't be.
Oh, 10.
Okay.
10.6.
Yeah. Well,
so that trade's a little light.
Trade.
You did.
Yeah, I should have put in like a late first, which is probably the value that would push it towards an equal trade.
If you're going second year wide receiver, almost any of those first round guys, other than Reagor or the Raiders,
Henry Ruggs,
any one of them other than Ruggs,
T. Higgins,
got it there. Yeah, Higgins, Judy.
Yeah, let me put that in.
Obviously,
because
Justin Jefferson.
I'm gonna put in T. Higgins just to see because that was also a thought, or Judy, and yeah, that would have.
Wow.
They got Higgins at a 30.7. Wow, that would have really tipped the scales. That would have been 66.7 Dobbins Higgins side to 58.4.
Yeah.
And see that
any one of those first round.
And that's another way the calculator can kind of help you is say you're in trade talks, you're in negotiations. You could do this. You'd be like, okay, you don't want Reagor. Let me see what else I could add or what I could swap him out with, and then you could get a deal done. And like talking with the person is the best way to get a trade done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, so that means I'm up next with my second player, And I'm going to give you one of my favorite offseason buys. And even more so
Sony
now
Michel.
that Giovanni Bernard is out of the picture. I mean, they did re-sign Samaje Perine, big threat. It's Joe Mixon. I still believe in Joe Mixon's talent. I know he was injured last year. He had that one big game, 3 touchdowns, more active in the passing game. They've worked on some offensive line. I'm hoping they work on that more in the draft. So I think Joe Mixon is a great player to go and trade for. But I'm interested to see what you guys would like to offer me for my Joe Mixon.
All right. I'll go first. I'll offer you 104.
Okay.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can beat 104. Joe Mixon in the Superflex tight end premium. I will go Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert and the 205.
Is this a Philly only league? Because I'm pretty sure that could get it done.
Yeah. Between those two offers, I would take the 104 in a Superflex format because usually Superflex, I mean, you're probably looking at the top 3 players could be all quarterbacks. If I need a quarterback at the 104, I might be able to get a Trey Lance or a Zach Wilson or even a Justin Fields, depending on how it all shakes out. If I wait and I want a running back to replace Joe Mixon because maybe I'm soured on him, maybe I can get Najee Harris or Travis Etienne, depending on landing spot, or Javonte Williams. Gives me a lot of flexibility. I could also trade down. So I think that's one of the things if I'm
And I think
stuck
you
on
probably got a good value there at the 104.
Yeah, if I'm looking to take a running back, I could trade down a few spots and still get one of the big 3, I think. So I would take the 104 here.
Yeah.
And it worked out. So Joe Mixon is a 26.1 on the calculator. The 104 is a flat 30 points. So I made out a little bit on that one.
A player evaluation, I want to kind of send you a different offer. Jerry Jeudy, 1 for 1.
I would keep Mixon.
Okay.
I would keep Mixon. I think he has the potential to be an elite running back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I think Judy's a nice player. I just don't see that type of upside for him.
Now we're going to check the Dallas Goedert.
Okay. Goddard coming in strong at 17.4.
And what else?
And it was
205?
210? 205, that's right. This might be pretty even. Yeah, it's not too far off. It's 24.2 on the Goddard side to 26.1 on the Mixon side. So, yeah, so the 104 got it done. Lots of flexibility. I like the fact that I could move back a little bit, gain some more assets, and still get one of those top 3 running backs potentially in a super flex format.
Good trade, Doug. Good trade.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Now, one of my players that I love, I have him.
Swift.
But there is a little doubt. Say I have some quarterbacks already on my roster, and I have the flexibility to let this man go. His value is the highest it could ever be. The highest. It's already at peak. And if I want to kind of see what else I could do in this good quarterback class, let's see what I could get. Just throw him on the trade block. Justin Herbert.
Is it at the peak, though?
I mean, I took him at 103 in a startup, so that's pretty peak. And nobody kind of batted an eye about it.
Here we go. I'll give you Josh Allen straight up.
I mean, I had my choice of Josh Allen or Herbert in this startup.
What would I offer for Justin Herbert? I'm going to give you some of the players that I wrote down
Keenan
that I'm not going to be able to
away
use.
in a few years. Diggs is going to be there.
I'm going to give you. I know it's a super flex format, but I'm good at I'm good at other positions, and I really need quarterbacks. So I'm going to give you DeAndre Hopkins. I am going to give you. I'm going to give you DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to give you Tyler Boyd, and I'm going to give you Josh Jacobs.
Oh man!
Wowzers!
It's funny because that's like my all star stay away from type players. Like that's like my avoid. Except Boyd, I love Tyler Boyd, so you kind of hit me in the heart there. But man, Hopkins is kind of my. I don't really own him anywhere, and Jacobs, man, like the Raiders hate him, and he's still young, and there's a chance he could go elsewhere and succeed. Or they finally open their eyes, but I mean,
Tyler, can I just say I love Josh Allen, and it sucks giving him away for Justin Herbert, but I think personally I'd have to take Doug's.
I mean, like I said, I don't. In this scenario, honestly, I'd probably keep Herbert, but in this scenario, to allow the trade to happen, I'm gonna go with Doug's because I did say I'm good at quarterback, and say I am in a win now team. So for this type of aspect, for all you guys out there, I would not trade Herbert for that, but I will accept Doug's offer.
I'd take it.
Let's see how bad I overpaid for Justin Herbert. Or maybe I didn't at all. I think it's actually might be closer than we think.
Oh, I think Josh Allen had a higher number, right?
Yes,
He
Josh
did.
Allen was higher. So you offered.
Let's see this package
Hopkins.
deal. Let's see this Hopkins, yep. So Herbert comes in at a 52.4. Hopkins still a solid 39.6.
Just below 40.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
If
was
I
the
could
second player that
spell
I
it right,
offered.
that would be great.
Josh Jacobs at a 21.
It's already over, and we got.
It's already over. And we add Tyler Boyd. I just overpaid for a quarterback, boys. They're not cheap. 77.3 on the Hopkins, Jacobs, and Boyd.
Yeah.
Here's the example why I was willing to get rid of Hopkins, because it's another player that I think his value is still high, and I think if you wait at the wrong time to sell DeAndre Hopkins, you're gonna lose. So you need to make those hard decisions and be like, when is the scales gonna tip? I think Hopkins is a great player. He's probably my favorite player in the NFL to watch, period. I love DeAndre Hopkins. But there comes that time where you have to be like, what do I wait too long and end up holding the bag, or do I sell at the right time and end up reaping the rewards of a young quarterback I'm going to have on my roster for 10 plus years?
So, and with me, say in this roster, I have like a Kirk Cousins and Stafford that can get me along.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hopkins is a wide receiver 1. Jacobs will be an RB 2 or 3, and Boyd will be a 3 or 4 wide receiver, a flex spot that can get me through bye weeks as well. So this is a huge depth piece, especially in a 12-team league.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and we said Josh Allen outweighed Justin Herbert, so that would have
Yes.
been an even deal on that one. So yeah, that was good. I had to overpay, but you know what? Sometimes those quarterbacks can be
You
not
had to
cheap,
overpay.
as we know.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that is what they say. All right, who's up next?
All right, I'm up next. And Doug, I'm going to take one of your guys from last year. It was one of our guys from last year, really, from the podcast.
Will Greer?
No, that was what, 3 years ago now.
I know. I'm
think.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
But and I don't know what his value is on this calculator, but I'm pretty sure it's still hanging pretty low. But I want to put this guy out there because I had this thought the other night. Quintez Cephas. Okay, in front of him, he's got Tyrell Williams, Brashard
I'm really
Perriman.
liking that you went with the lower value guy because I was hoping that we did that.
Listen, maybe they draft a rookie in the first round, or they draft a tight end, or they draft a lineman, or they draft a quarterback. There's lots of possibilities that they don't bring in another rookie, at least in the first round. Cephas doesn't have a ton of talent in front of him, and even if they do bring in a rookie later on in the draft, he's got a year in Detroit already playing as a professional. He should be ahead of this rookie to start the season. So Quintez Cephas, again, I don't know what the value on the calculator is going to say. I'm guessing pretty low, though.
I think I'd be willing to part with a draft pick for you for Quintez Cephas. I would give you the first thing that popped into my brain was the 305.
I'll give you Keyshawn Vaughn for him.
Okay, that's a good one.
Damn it, Tyler.
God damn it, Bobby.
I'm going to take the third in this exercise.
Why don't you love Keyshawn Vaughn?
I do. I'm taking the third in this exercise because I want to see what he can be had for. A 2.2. Quintez Cephas at 2.2.
He's cheap.
Wow.
And you offered
Let's
what?
see what the 305 is.
305.
305, yeah.
1.9. All
It's
right.
pretty even.
Yeah.
Pretty even. What's Keyshawn Vaughn coming in at? I bet he's probably right in the ballpark.
0.002.
He's gotta be.
0.002.
0.002. Yeah.
Won't be that low. Ready, drum roll.
Oh,
1.4. All right, so you got it right taking the 305.
But this is what I wanted to talk about. You can get a guy who is potentially going to be a starting receiver for an NFL team for a mid to late third, depending on
who his teammate.
I mean, this is a guy that a lot of people didn't even draft. They might have picked him up as a drafted free agent.
His teammate, the top corner in the draft last year, said was the hardest guy to cover.
Yeah, in the Big Ten. Yeah, this is a screaming value buy. I knew this episode was coming up, and so I was kind of trying to think about players. This is the second guy that popped in my head strictly for this reason. I was like, I wonder what Quintez Cephas' value is on a calculator and what he could be had for, because I'll give up a third. It's a dart throw anyways in drafts, and this guy's probably going to open the season in the starting lineup.
I like it. All right, who's next? Is it me? Is it
Tyler?
Tyler?
Back to you.
That's back to you.
Back to
Last
me.
time.
All right, I'm trying to think of a player I haven't mentioned here.
I was going to say, I can't believe we haven't stepped on toes yet.
I'm going to say, I'm going to throw out. This is a good one. It's not a low player, but that was a great exercise doing.
Yeah, I'm debating for my last player. How about we do? Where are we at for time? If we're time wise, no, we'll be kind of capped on time with these last three. So yeah, this will be the last three. So I'm kind of
all right.
on
So
the
here's
fence.
here's my last one. So this just popped into my brain. I'm interested to see what his value is because again, you might be selling this player at his peak after a historic rookie season this past year.
Ooh,
actually, you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
That was a good one.
Because
were you going to go Justin Jefferson?
I was.
That was a good one.
I was already trying to cook up deals.
So here's one. Now, we've learned the lesson that once a running back hits the number one overall dynasty asset to sell. So this running back, Christian McCaffrey, was the 101 in leagues last year. He missed most of the year. Now, his average points per game were still insane. They were like 27 points per game. No fall off whatsoever when it came to production when he was on the field. Now, he was healthy all through his Stanford career, healthy up into his career until last year. He's still the consensus 101 in startups, Christian McCaffrey. So I'm throwing it out there. I'm like, you know what? I want to see what I can get for Christian McCaffrey. He's reached the pinnacle in Dynasty. We saw it with Todd Gurley. We saw it with Le'Veon Bell. Pretty much any running back, Zeke Elliott, that has hit the 101 in startups has done nothing but decrease in value since that moment in time. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that. And I want to see what you guys will offer me for Run CMC.
I already got an offer.
Do it.
Cam Akers and 111.
Okay.
Oh, we know Doug likes Cam Akers.
I do.
Tyler throws out some offers where I'm like, man, if I want to go out there and ensure I get Christian McCaffrey, I'm going to have to bring the heat. And I don't feel comfortable
So
bringing that heat.
Doug knows firsthand, especially with the Deshaun Watson deal in UDPL, that if I want a player, it's going to happen. I've got it. I've got a prescription.
Okay,
And if you listen to this podcast, you could have a subscription.
That's
Remember,
true.
code 21DHH10
Look at
on
Doug.
fantasypoints.com.
Jeez.
What did you offer, Tyler?
I offered Cam Akers and 111.
111.
I will offer Matthew Stafford
Okay.
and the 106. Stafford and the 106.
I hate that offer, Tim.
Damn it.
Out of these two, I would pick Cam Akers and the 111, although honestly, I would probably hold. And I wouldn't trade McCaffrey for that. I would try to get more from Tyler as the Akers owner, for sure. Because I don't think
It's
it's
a bigger number than I thought it was.
I don't think it's that close to me. I would want more. I would want either another player or another pick at least.
You didn't
to
get that
to
Godfather
get
offer where you
McCaffrey.
have to come off the 101. You feel like you have to come off the.
I would need a big
The
offer.
issue with it is McCaffrey, if you wanted to sell him, you would have had to sell him at the beginning of last year. And
He's still the 101 though.
Yeah.
yes,
But I get it. There's
But
more. There's
yes.
more. Yeah, I know. All right, so it's actually a pretty solid offer.
trade.
So Cam Akers and the 111 is a 51.8. Christian McCaffrey by himself, 49.6. So that's right in the ballpark.
it's funny because
Odds.
I was going to offer you 101, but I felt like the 101, Trevor Lawrence, would probably outvalue McCaffrey.
What is the 101 valued at, just out of curiosity?
I mean, you got to
Gotta
think
be in the
it's
40s.
40s, maybe even 50s.
Really? Rookie FIBA. Yeah, it's an even swap, 50.8
Wow, it's in
to
the
49.6.
Because Trevor is the real deal.
All right, can we see the one that Doug hated? My poopy offer that I sent him.
It's poop.
You mean your
Poop
retread Stafford deal? You really want to get rid of
He's playing
Stafford?
in L.A. now with McVay. He's going to have a resurgence. These next 7 years out of Stafford are going to be hot.
Ooh.
All right, that's
That
actually a
was
pretty.
close.
That's a solid
Look at
offer.
that.
It's Matthew Stafford at 24.2. The draft pick, the 106, is it? It's hard to see. It's 24.9. So 49.1 to McCaffrey's 49.6. Pretty solid offer, Tim. I just didn't like
I get it. I
Stafford,
get
and the
it.
106 is like,
get it.
okay.
I mean, you could
So,
get another
yeah.
running back at 106. You're going to get an Etienne or a Javante, and you got Stafford. So if you hit on that running back, I mean, this trade could look like roses.
That's always the if, though.
That's
yes,
true.
It could look very, very nice. So cool. All right. Well, that was my last one. Awesome. Let's keep it moving.
All right, I am debating on going with a lower end player or going with a high end player. And honestly, after seeing that trade happen and the fun that we had, I'm going to throw a high end player. And you know what? Since Doug didn't do it, I'm going to do it. Justin Jefferson is on the board because I can't
Ooh,
imagine how fun this is going to be.
Justin Jefferson. No, don't put him up there.
I'm
I don't
not.
want to see what he's worth. Okay.
All right.
okay.
I got an offer for you. I'm going to give you Laviska Shenault.
Who's
Denzel Mims.
also a player I've been buying a lot this offseason. Laviska Shenault.
So I'm going to give you Laviska Shenault, Denzel Mims, and the 107.
I mean, you had me on the meh line until 107 was thrown out there, and then I was like, ooh.
No, I would have had to add a pick to that. I would never do those two players straight up. That wouldn't get it done.
By the way, any UDPL listeners, Jefferson could be had.
Everyone has a
Justin
price tag.
Jefferson. Justin Jefferson. Tyler, I'm going back to the well. Your boys. I'll give you DeAndre Swift and the 111.
Oh, that's easy. It's Swift.
Punch it in. Jefferson, a whopping 46.7. Big old numbers. Big
Swift is going
numbers.
to be 30,
40s.
31, 40s? No.
Ooh.
Close.
37.
Hey, look at that little
Wow.
picture next to him.
Tyler's guy.
Fancy that.
You love to
Fancy
see
that.
it,
All right, let's
right?
see what the draft
11.
pick comes in.
Should've
The
went to
111.
Should have went to 112.
All right, it's 52.5 Swift and the 111 to 46.7 for Justin Jefferson. So, yeah. And I'll see what Shenault, Mims, and the 107 comes out at.
That one was a very
be-
strong
It might be
offer.
light. It might be light. I think it's light, if I were to guess. I don't know how much the trade calculator values.
By the way,
those
I
guys.
absolutely love the aspect that when you type in Visca, the player's name comes up.
Yeah, that is a nice little shortcut because, you got to get rid of 2 letters at the beginning. All right, let's
Mims
see what that
coming in
107's
hot.
valued. We're
Gonna
creeping.
be close.
It might be close. It might be in the ballpark here. So Shenault comes in at a 12.7.
Ooh.
Oh, heck of a deal, Doug.
So 12.7 for Laviska, 11.3 for Denzel Mims, and 23.2 for the 107. So a total of 47.2 to Justin Jefferson's 46.7. Pretty even.
No.
So I get it. Tyler's going to take his guy.
If this was a trade that was happening, and say I'm in talks with Doug, I would probably say, hey, Mims, I'm on the fence about. I'm not a huge Zach Wilson guy. Let's see if we could either swap him out for an early second or something, or let's figure out something else other than Mims, because in this trade, I like the Shenault, I like the pick, But the Mims is the thing that's probably holding me back in this trade. So, and this is where the
I think that would be a good counterpoint for sure.
And this is where the calculator kind of helps. You can have it right in your face. You can look at it and be like, okay, there's something about this trade I don't like. You can physically see it and be like, okay.
Doug, you have Logan Thomas on your roster. Just throw Logan Thomas in there.
Throw Logan Thomas in there. They've got there's a new tight end in Washington, boys. I don't know if you've heard.
Who's that?
That's for another episode. I'm not giving up my secrets. That's for another episode. We'll get there. Don't you worry.
Okay. So we get to end on my guy. Again, I don't know how often they update this calculator, so we'll get to see what this guy's value is. Okay.
Devonta Freeman.
This guy has recently moved teams. It is a super flex league. He is still very young. I'm putting Sam Darnold on the trade block, boys.
Ooh.
Let's see how he does in this Carolina offense. Yeah. What will you guys give me for the 23-year-old Sam Darnold? 23, 24? I think he's 24.
All right, I got an offer for you. Are you ready?
Okay.
I will give you Henry Ruggs.
And a ham sandwich.
And I'll give you Henry Ruggs. I will give you the 206 and Damian Harris.
I'll give you Jerry Jeudy straight up for him.
Henry Ruggs, the 206, and Damian Harris.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Jerry Jeudy straight up in this one. And
Tyler just loves throwing Jeudy out there.
Hope I don't lose.
I've actually traded for Jeudy and I've traded away Jeudy. I thought about Claypool in this, like a 1-for-1.
Wow, it's lower than I thought it would be.
That is very surprisingly low.
15.2 for Sam Darnold.
I think I just overpaid for Sam Darnold.
I think I just overpaid.
Yeah, a little bit. 18.2 for Jerry Jeudy, so 3 points off. What's the what are we looking at for my offer? I'm curious. I get overpaid with Ruggs, Damian Harris, and what did I say, the 206?
Yes.
Let's see. Harris comes in only at a 4.3. Wow. I think that's kind of low.
That's value.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs, 7.5. And then we got the 206. I might have been right in the ballpark, actually. Just a slight overpay. Let's see what the 206 comes in at. 5.8. So 17.7 to 15.2. So, yeah, right in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Not too bad. If someone's banking on a rebound for Henry
and I think
Ruggs
Damian and Ruggs are both undervalued slightly.
Yeah. So I agree. I had Henry Ruggs' name on my list too. So I have actually mentioned to all 8 players some way, shape, or form that I had written down.
Oh, you overachiever, Doug.
I had Adam Troutman as my lower player buy.
Well, let's see what Adam Troutman's value is. Now I'm curious.
Let's do it.
We don't have to do a trade for Adam Troutman, but I'm just curious what he's valued at in a tight end premium.
I'll give you the 203 for him right now. Oh, no, wow. I'm going to lose. Oh, no.
Wow. He's a 2.6 for Adam Troutman.
Which is probably a third or early third.
That's a pretty nice buy.
Yeah,
to be honest.
That's a very good buy.
What's Cole Kmet's value? Now we're talking sophomore tight ends. I'd like to find that out. I love Cole Kmet, so I think that could be super interesting. Not much more. 3.5 out of Cole Kmet. Interesting.
Late second for Cole Kmet.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, in tight end premiums, that's around where he got drafted in most leagues. So, yeah. All right, cool.
This is fun.
This was a great exercise. Now I'm on the. Now it's my pressure to think of something
74
fun for next week.
Oh.
Kyle Pitts is only 23. It should be 80, 82 or so.
Yeah, give it.
What's the now? Give me the value for like the 104. Is it 23 or is it higher? Because now I'm curious.
It's higher.
Yeah, so they're valuing Kyle Pitts as a 107.
Which
probably,
in a tight end premium,
at that 23.
there's no
That's
possible way.
No, I mean, Hawkinson went at 104, 105 in tight end premium leagues. Now, we didn't have the same quarterback class that we have this year, but I think Pitts is that special guy, so I would not be surprised.
The thing. With this being super flex scoring, they might have like 3 quarterbacks going, and then you're going to have, maybe a receiver. Yeah, and the top running back. So, yeah, they might say 107, 106 is about where he's at.
Yeah. And that's just a good situation, like, because of the depth of this class.
You should be able to pop in Kyle Pitts, and it goes to, like, 103.
Yeah. Najee Harris is at 30.6, so he's the 104. in this
in
in this
their
aspect.
calculator.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Jamal
awesome.
Chase.
That was a fun game, boys. Thanks for playing. I was, there was the one gross overpay that I had, but I'm pretty impressed that we were all in the ballpark with most of our trade offers without using. We didn't talk about the players beforehand. This is completely organic. I didn't have my players until we hit record, pretty much. Really impressed by our internal trade calculators that we were running by.
We make
very nice exercise.
We get a lot of offers. We make a lot of
do.
trades. So I feel like it's kind of in our
Tyler
blood.
makes a lot of trades. I don't trade as much.
And honestly, when I do make trades, I do like to go on the calculator, and I do like to be like, okay, where did this land? Like when I looked up the Cam Akers for the 4th and the 5th round rookie pick, I was like, where is this value? No, I'm kidding. I knew exactly what his value was, and it's in the toilet.
Deshaun Watson for a rookie 6th round pick.
Hey.
That's my worst offer I've ever received.
It was very bad. Ungood is what they call that.
Yes. Very, very not good. So thank you for joining us this week. I did want to also give a shout out before we close up to Viridian Global. If you're looking to get any apparel from a ton of different podcasts, but most importantly, this
The
one,
FF
Dynasty Happy
Fitness shirts apparently are hot on the streets.
I have seen those on my Twitter feed. I probably should get in the FS Fitness thing. I'm getting swole over here, guys. I'm just saying. But yeah,
stung
so if
by
you
a
love
bee swole. That's the Doug swole we want.
Yes, my face like Will Smith and was it Hitch?
Hitch. Oh, such a good movie.
Yeah, when he gets stung by a bee. So if you're looking for some new apparel, you're looking for some shirts, you're looking for some hats, check out Viridian Global, Dynasty Happy Hour. We are on there. Much appreciated. Thank you in advance. That is going to wrap us up this week. Once again, thanks for joining us. Go on to iTunes. Leave us a review. We want to hear what you have to say. I know Tyler really loves reading them, and he gets all sorts of salty. It's amazing to see the process. I love it. But if you like what you heard, if you didn't like what you heard, let us know either way. We want to try to make improvements as much as we can. If you're like, this host is booty cheeks, let me know. I want to hear it. If you're like, Tyler is a redhead and you want to make fun of him, that's cool too, whatever. So make sure you go on iTunes, leave us a rating and review. We would love you to do that. It actually increases us in your Dynasty fantasy football feed as well. So that would be very helpful. We want to rise to the top like we're the cream of the crop. House of Pain. Come on. We got this. All right. We'll see you next week on Dynasty Happy Hour.